Hello, hello, hello. Welcome today to this another live. If you are joining here live, my hi, and you can also say hi to me. And if you are watching this as a replay, you can comment later in the video below this and ask your questions or tell me how did you like this live. So today's topic is another very interesting topic, and again I love to talk about this topic and I follow this topic in my real life. So over here we are today going to find the difference between being dependent, independent, and interdependent. Okay, because this is extremely important topic, because if right now you are not able to do something which you really want to do, okay, the meaning is you have some kind of dependency. Okay, then if you are able to do everything what you want to do, but you don't have that alignment, peace, and that feeling where something is missing, which is like you're so much independent. And then there is a midway, which we will talk in this live today, which is best of both of them, which can make your life so much better. Okay, so how many of you are ready for this discussion over here? Okay, so what I'm going to do, as we are doing this as live, it's a complete topic, there is assessment related to this, so many things are related to this topic, like the difference between dependent, independent, and interdependent. And this is a relationship style, and you can actually find out what is your relationship style if you go through these 10 questions, and if you want to learn more about this topic. Okay, so the first thing is, like, I'll just do the differentiation, and what do you think, what is going to be the best relationship style? Being dependent on somebody, or being completely independent, or being interdependent, means depend on each other? Which one is going to be the most winning style of relationship? You want to comment, you can comment. Or if you want to ask me, the best style, the balanced style, is being interdependent. You want to depend on each other, where both the parties, they feel that they're depending on each other, and there is clear understanding, and there is a win-win relationship. So now I will go through the 10 differences between these three relationship style, which is dependent, independent, and interdependent. Let's get started. So the very first thing which I want to talk about is like making the decision. So when you are a dependent person, you will be thinking about, like, what do you think I should do? You'll be always asking for permissions. But an independent person would say, I don't need anybody's input. I know what I want to do. Okay, so that is the style, independent style. Okay, then the interdependent person is going to say, I love your perspective, and the interdependent person will hear the other person's perspective. And then you can say, okay, you can say, but they will make their own choice. But they're not going to dismiss the other person off front, because they are interdependent. That's the way they will do the decisions. Okay. Then suppose you take the factor of emotional support. A dependent person, he or she, will be always dependent on the other person to fix their feelings. So if I'm not feeling happy, you are responsible. If I'm not feeling loved, means you are responsible. So always, like, somebody else has to fix those feelings. Okay, the independent person, on the extreme other hand, like, it's just think it as a scale. The dependent person, then the independent person. Dependent, let's just put the dependent person to the negative spectrum of 10, minus 10, and the independent person is negative, positive spectrum of like suppose plus 10, and then we are interdependency is like we are in the middle. Okay, but I want to make sure, like, the independence interdependence is going to be like the winning style of relationship. But how, just to identify your own style, I'm just telling these differences. The second is like your emotional support. So in I will manage by myself, but the interdependence person is going to say, I can help, means I can process my emotion, but if you are there with me, I feel good. Okay, so the interdependent person is not dependent on anyone. They can fix themselves, but they really love to have that support around them, and they appreciate and acknowledge that support. Okay, so now let's just see, related to if you have some challenge or some problem in front of you. The dependent person, what do you say? They'll say you have to help me, you have to help me. The independent person on the other hand say, I'll figure out myself. Okay, I don't need anybody's help, I'll figure out myself. But the interdependent person is going to say that I can handle myself, but if we do as a teamwork, it is going to be so much easier. Understand the difference, like how it actually changes. And while you're listening this, I want you to find out like what are the things which you are saying more often, so that you know that that is your relationship style. Are you dependent on somebody a lot? Are you too much independent, or you are interdependent on each other? Okay, and this relationship could be with your partner, with your kids, with your parents, in-laws. It could be with your bosses, with your co-workers. It will apply in all scenarios. Think about this. Now, let's just think of like the time. Okay, so sometimes like you're alone, and the dependent person, he feels that I can't be alone. Like you feel lonely, and you cannot, just like you want always somebody around you. The completely independent person is going to be, I prefer to be alone. Okay, just leave me alone, I'm good by myself. Okay, but the interdependent person is going to enjoy both the situations. They are going to admire and love their own company. They will be their own best friend. At the same time, they like the connections and they like to be around with the people. Okay, so this is another difference. So now let's just think of financial matters. Okay, when you are dealing with the money. Okay, especially money, just say let's dealing with the money. So dealing with the money, the dependent person will say that you handle the money, because maybe they don't like to handle the money and all. The independent person is, my money is my money and my business, don't even ask me anything. Okay, and the interdependence, they will be like when you are you're following the interdependent relationship style. In there, it is going to be, okay, we are financial partners, yes, we have individual finances. At the same time, like both of us will manage each other's finance, or both of us will manage each of individual finance also, but we are going to keep each other connected. It's not going to be anything drastic. We'll work hands in hands on this particular money thing. Okay, so this is the beautiful way of working it out. So where you get independence of your money also, and there is something which you might want to do it in the joint, so that also you can say it. It's not like completely dependent on one person and the other person has no idea about it. And this is a very important point, because I come across clients where they have no idea about the finances, because the whole life the spouse has taken care, the husband has taken care, and then suddenly, like if you're going through the hard time or going through a situation like a divorce, and you are clueless, like I will not say like you're so innocent, because all these years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years, like you had the chance to develop that interdependent relationship, but you gave it away. You gave it away, the power. So then now you are clueless then what to do. So this is sometimes very important. Money is a very sensitive topic for many of us, and we really need to handle it carefully. Okay, so that's what I would suggest over here. Another thing which we'll discuss about, like in the gatherings, like social gatherings, or you're meeting people, then the dependent person would always want you to be on the side, always with you. Don't leave me alone. Okay, you should be on my side. And like they're not able to just be there, stand themselves. So their partner or their friend, they have to be around them. Okay, so the independent one, okay, I don't need anybody again. Okay, I'm talking about the independent person who is an extreme thought process. Okay, you want to be in the middle. You want to be independent person with the all the what we can say characteristics of interdependency, so that you are not going to be left alone, and you're not going to be just like if you are dying tomorrow, like you're the only person and nobody's there for your funeral. You don't want that. Okay, but I'm just saying that because sometimes in some aspect we are extreme, and we want to just figure out like our relationship style, our living style, so that it can benefit in 100% better way to us only. Okay, because always the benefit is us. Okay, so in this situation, when you're in a social gatherings or something, the interdependent person is like, okay, I'm confident to be alone, but I would love to be together. So you're not going to be like making somebody do something for you or forcefully be with you, that kind of a thing. Now just think of another situation of career. Okay, or the choices which you're making, or something, even like like something, your business or work you're doing, or any choices also. I'll just say choices, like they will always think about other people, what other people will think. The independent one will be, I don't care what people think. Okay, I don't want anybody's opinion. And the interdependent is, okay, I would love to have your opinion, okay, but you're going to make own choices. Okay, so it's in the middle. Like you always hear, you're open-minded, so that you also grow, because you never know what you will learn from somebody someday, like because if you always are open-minded and ready to learn, like a lifelong learner, which I told yesterday, so then you're always in the benefit. Okay, now another situation, maybe we can take it like conflict. So, or like any of the high volume discussions or something like that. Okay, so the dependent person will be always blaming, complaining, cribbing about others, because you are responsible to keep me happy, you are responsible to give me love, you are responsible for doing this. Okay, then the independent person is like, that person, your feeling doesn't even matter. Okay, I don't care about it, you do whatever, that kind of a thing is there. And then interdependent person, in the conflict, or like you're finding some solutions, the approach is, yes, for whatever happened, we both are responsible. Okay, and then we are going to be taking responsibility for our own emotions, and we will process the emotions. It's not going to be the blame game, making the situation more and more worse in the interdependent scenario. Okay, so now the next is like your growth, or personal growth, we can say. Like we, because see, personal growth is another thing which is an ongoing process, and personal development, personal growth is not taught in any of the syllabus since school and the college and the MBAs and everywhere. Okay, we just are learning from whatever we are hearing and experiencing, but there is always, you can make the decision to grow yourself personally. Okay, by reading the books, by having the learning every day. You can have a coach also, or you can do it by yourself also, but you have that approach of growing. Like, book reading is the best thing, I would say. You want to start beginning your personal growth journey, just do book reading. Okay. So usually the dependent person, they will be asking someone else to change or fix them. Okay. So it's because it's not their problem, somebody else always is the problem. So like, why don't you change? Why don't you fix yourself? Why you are like this all the time? Okay. The independent person, okay, doesn't care, I'll go by myself. Like, I don't even care anyway what you're saying, what you're feeling. I really don't care. Okay. But then the interdependent person is, let's grow together, let's learn from each other, let's have that open minded mindset. Okay. Where growth is like a highest value, and we can, because if once you put it as an intention as the highest value, wow, then you start growing automatically. Okay. So this is another thing. Now the another thing is, like, if you're planning something, like a future planning, like we yesterday said, like the life coaching is about the futuristic partnership. That's what we said. Okay. So now, if the dependent person will be thinking like, I can't imagine my life like maybe 10 years later without you, because you're so much dependent on that person, you cannot imagine your life without that other person. Okay. The independent person, I'll plan only for myself, I don't care about anybody else. That's an independent person. But the interdependent person, why don't we plan together? Why don't we maintain that communication and still have the individual personality? Because in interdependency, you're not suppressing anybody's personality, anybody's opinions, anybody's choices. You are always, you have been supportive, you are making your own choices, you have been responsible for your actions, but that relationship grows so much better. So the poster which I made, if you see that, like there is like hatkadi jaisa na, like in the dependency, in the independency, like that chain is only broken, and but the interdependency, I have like a yin and yang symbol, like the yin yang, like the male side and the female side, and how they come together. It's a balanced approach. Okay. So that's what was the meaning of that. And someday I'll surely talk about yin and yang personalities, and what is the yin and yang, and how they actually help us. Like, I'm going to talk about that later. But now, just think that what style of relationship you are following. See, the dependent style is disempowering, like you are not feeling empowered, because you're always dependent on somebody for something, and like you're not taking the responsibility. And complete independence without caring about yourself is going to leave you alone, and many other things, like like, because nobody would like you also to be with you also, because you really don't care for anybody, because you're so much independent. And nowadays many times that is happening, because the men and women, the girls and boys, like right now the young people, like everybody is so independent, everybody is earning so good, like everybody is earning in six figures. Then why we need the relationship? Then like one of the spouse, they are not like having the things to go like in a way where both of you are agreeing. Then okay, anyway, I'm independent, then go to hell. Oh, sorry. So like, so you're just saying like, okay, I don't care about what you're saying, like so that kind of a thing. And then because of that, so many relationships are breaking. But if we get back to interdependency, it's going to be blossoming relationship. Okay. So with that, I'm ending this live. I hope I added some value. I love and bless the interdependency on you, and so that you can actually get freedom from the dependency, where you can start making your choices and like admire your own individuality. Okay. So with that, bye bye, take care, and see you guys again in the next life. Bye bye.